Hey guys, it's Casual Friday. That means it's Nancy Matz Friday, and today Nancy is going to be doing some free readings for audience members. In addition, she's also going to be continuing our talk about depression. Be right back. Grab your popcorn and snacks. Find a comfy spot, take a seat or lie down, and let me transport you to a place of fantasy, ghost stories, ancient legends, odd creatures, alien encounters, and other magical topics. You may even decide to join the conversation. From faraway lands to your own backyard, with a small dash of pixie dust. Turn out the lights and open your minds. The journey is about to begin. There we go. Hey, afternoon, everybody. Happy Friday. We're that much closer to the holidays. How's everybody doing today? I hope you said good. This keeps flopping over on me. I'm trying to figure out how to keep it up. There we go. See that? Season's Creepings. Season's Creepings. Jack and Sally. Somebody got me this as a gift. It's pretty cool. Just trying to get it so it sits upright so people can see Jack and Sally. Anyway, my name is Charlotte. I'm going to be your host for the next hour. I'm also the owner of the California Haunts Paranormal Investigation Team based out of Sacramento. We're 45 strong up and down the state, which means we can help you no matter where you're at. It may take us a couple days or whatever to get to you, because California is this really, really, really huge state, and there's a lot of rural areas. But if in the case that we can't get you right away, we do have mediums on staff who can phone you and talk to you about what may or may not be going on in your home or business. In some cases, they can simmer down the energy until we can get there. Okay. That being said, let's swing right into today. If you're watching from Facebook, and a lot of you are, and you haven't done so already, please hit that follow button. If you're watching from YouTube, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, because we're trying to reach our 1,000 subscribers, maybe before the new year, right? That would be kind of nice Christmas, New Year's gift. Hit that 1,000 number. Also, if you're watching from both YouTube and Facebook, be sure to leave a comment or show us some loves, hearts, happy faces, thumbs up, things like that, because that puts us higher in what they call the FYP system, and the computers see it and they move us out to more people. Okay, so the audience grows. You can find us on Instagram as well under Ghosty Gal. Facebook, we are California Haunts Radio, Sacramento Seers, SEERS, Psychics. So, that's our Psychics, Greek Psychics. There. It's on Instagram, we're Ghosty Gal lowercase. TikTok, we are California Haunts. Twitter, we are California Haunts. And Twitch, we are Cal Haunts, I believe. So that's how you can find us. Or Google us. You Google us, we're everywhere. I tell you, we're everywhere. Anyway, welcome, and we got a great show today. It's a Casual Friday, so Nancy's here, and we're going to be talking about, depression. It's kind of like a continuation from last Monday's show, or was it Tuesday's show? The last show we had this week. I get confused. Don't get old, guys. It's a continuation from the last show that we did together, and we're also going to be doing free readings. This will be your chance, probably the last chance before the holidays, to get a free reading from Nancy. So get your questions ready. She can only talk to you for 1 or 2 minutes because we're limited time here. But get your question ready. All right. Okay. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Nancy in. Here we go.
Hi, Char. Happy show. I hope you can hear me okay. So I bought one of those films for the monitor.
Yeah.
I ordered the wrong size. I was depressed. So I've been cutting it down. I got it this afternoon. So by next, whenever you have me on again, because I think next week also, because of Thanksgiving, I'm going to be on Monday night.
Yes.
Instead of Friday night. And because someone won Thursday, you put them on Friday and went, oh, Nancy will move around. Oh, God.
Confusing. Well, I forgot. Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday, and I forgot that it was this Thursday coming up.
I haven't kept
I'm
track
just
either.
I'm just so busy here, you know.
Anyway, I want to. There's a couple people watching tonight. We're going to be talking about depression, and last week, this is number 2, everybody. Part 2, because we got carried away with readings, and everybody, I had eye surgery, and hopefully I can start reading better. Unfortunately, I may have to wear glasses for reading. I had stigmatism, glaucoma, and cataracts all in the same replacement of lenses all at once. I have the works. When you get older, I'm not going to tell you my age because that's not nice, but when you get a certain age, you have all these things showing up. So I'm going to wear these glasses, and I hope I don't drive you insane with it. So last week, and please,
They
Char,
rebuilt you because they have the technology.
what's that?
They rebuilt you because they have the technology.
They have, it's amazing. Off the air, if someone wants to know more, write me a note and I'll tell you about it. I would encourage it in a heartbeat. No, it's not comfortable, but it's very quick. So anything to do with your eyes and getting shots in the eyes and cutting the cornea and all that, I can't even think about my eyes while I'm reading. But it's so quick, and I'm so grateful. So anyway, that's not our topic tonight. Our topic is dealing with depression. Last time I was on, I think it was Tuesday night, I talked about the situations, and I started typing 3 days earlier. And what I thought about was overseas, we have a conflict going 2 areas, the Ukraine and the Middle East. And of course, it breaks my heart. I don't want to hear about children. I'm a mom and grandma. I don't want to hear about children dying. And they found one 19-year-old young lady, and I was just heartbroken. And of course, then I started thinking about it, and all the decades of war. You cannot not let it affect us. And then all the turmoil within the country. The tsunamis, March 2011, I think was March 13th, 2011, Japan, with the Indonesian earthquake tsunami of 240,000 people at December 2004. It's kind of like a deck of cards. You go flop, 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 flop. Sometimes we don't feel like we can carry the load anymore. And I'm not talking about dynamics in families and young men going off to the war and never coming home. And all the stuff is going on. I typed up pages of this stuff. I went, oh, you don't hear all that. Let's back up. Because what prompted the call was 2 ladies talking about the dynamics of their families. Actually, I have 3 ladies now. It was somebody else I remembered. And if you're listening tonight, my dear, call me back and let me know what happened to the family meeting. Anyway, so the dynamics of this young lady was the family, and of the other lady, a little older lady, a mature lady, not old, mature, at my daughter's age versus a 30-year-old. Anyway, she had the problems of work. How did you understand the people at work? And so we talked about the different personality traits and the woundology of our youth. And that's family dynamics, abuse of parents, many things that could happen. Bullying at school could happen, and those things get buried in with all of us. And I was a very quiet, shy child. But in high school, I was bullied. It wasn't because I was dark, but I do remember some, like Nancy has almost black hair, and it's just like, you don't look like the rest of us. And that's okay. My sister was blue-eyed blonde, so they knew you're younger than me. So what's going on with her? What's going on here? And it's okay. I look back and it made me stronger. So sometimes even the most adverse things that happen to us propel us to want to have better. You can either be crippled and buried underneath your depression issues, or you can say, and then step above it and say, bleep, bleep, everybody. I bleep that out. You can say, I will become stronger for the adversity that someone put upon me, or I'm suffering my life. Because as I've told people, Shar and I talk about this, I mentioned last time, I have been close to death. A bad car accident, car coming the other way, flipped in the air and came on top of my car. I was only 18 years old. And then, of course, everybody knows I had cancer, but I was actually close to death. The car accident, Graves' disease. I didn't know I was as sick as I was. And by the time they did a blood test, they sent me right to the hospital. I was checked in. I was 3 hours from a fatal heart attack because I had virtually no potassium in my body. How does that happen? How come people, I had it for 6, 8 years. Doctor's test, how come no one ever noticed that? Well, the headaches and the throwing up all the time finally got me to the doctor. Blood test took me to the hospital. And you look back on those things, I call them the red book of God. It says, are you doing what you want with your life? Does this scare you enough? Does it make you want to have more? Oh, yeah, that does me every time. I call it gearing up. Let's open a new chapter of our life. So I'm going to give you, we discussed a lot of that last time. So this night, I want to just bring up some ideas to help you through depression. Least of all, through adversity, only will our soul evolve. And through the trauma of life, do we value life? And so sometimes you have to look at that and listen to the words. Will you believe it? Do you understand it? Sometimes I've looked at my life, and Shar and I have, I've known her since 96, everybody. We've had a lot of conversations. A lot. A lot, everybody, a lot. And we talk about adversity. We talk about why do we pick this body? I do believe in reincarnation. I did not have that thought in my mind growing up. I didn't understand. No one, when I got married, 67, everybody. My daughter was born in 69. Reincarnation, survival, all the thoughts that we think of every day now, even on TV, we have podcasts we can listen to, survival, the meaning of life, those were non-existent when I was a young woman. And sometimes we have to go to a place of saying, oh, what's that? My mother joined Edgar Casey group, and I think it was 88 or 89. And she had me go to the group, and he believed in reincarnation. I think it was Mom's way, as she might have known that there was something going on with me from all the years of me knowing too much, right? Just like knowing too much. And the Edgar Casey group believed in reincarnation. I was so, what? She told me, she says, you need a past life regression. And I wasn't in this arena. And I went and got past life regression. And I was so startled. I went, most of you don't know I'm a runner. I was a runner for a lot of years, and I was racing horses. This was my first marriage. Got the cancer, kind of fell out of the routine of running every day. Cancer is a real bummer. People, oh, look at that athlete. She's running all the time. No, in my world, I just couldn't. So 6 months after cancer treatment, my husband moved out and stayed with the exercise, got treadmill for my garage. But so I was getting this past life regression. And the first place it took me to was very ancient times of early Roman Empire of conquest. And my father was a wheel maker, wheel for wagons. And he would give the kids the wheel, and we would have a stick. And my earliest memory of that life was playing with the wheel. And then I grew up as a man, and I joined the army. Well, I had been a runner for so long, duh. And in those campments of conquest, they would have at night not a horse and a man taking notes of what we're going to do the next day. They would send out a runner. Ta-da! I volunteered. Well, I did that for a long time. And then one night I fell and broke my knee. And instead of let me continue, because that was my only job, they sent me home. And I had to take my father's job. I started making wheels. And of course, it was devastating to me. And I realized how important my life had been and how important it was, but now I was only making wheels. So when the army came back through the other time, I told them I would make wheels. I would be part of the troop. Well, when they left, behind them came the people with the torches, and they burned us all down. And that was the end of that life. And I realized that how would I create a scenario so vivid that has stuck with me? And then when I got into this, I started seeing dead people, spirit people, dead people too. Spirit people can be dead. We call them demons and insane people. And so getting back to this, I started questioning, why do this over and over? Why did I pick this life? The value of why I picked this life was to learn to make choices and as a woman, step up and call myself equal. Remember, it's just an era. In
Mhm.
67, I didn't get a credit card on my own name until 73 when I had my son. We wore dresses every day until,
Mhm.
oh my God, I worked the night shift. I've had to wear high heels and nylons and dresses. Yeah, right. It was a different world, different time. And through adversity of learning how to, am I accountable? I started feeling empowered when I started running. And we started with horses. And I had a horse that was very tall. I had to get up on something to get on top of her. I'm only 5'5", 5'4" now. And one day they noticed that one of my ankles was weak. Boom, 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 boom. And they said, "Have you ever run?" I go, "Hardly." And they said, "I think you need to start running to strengthen your ankle." When I started running, all that memory, not memory, but the past life came forward. Remember, I hadn't had the past life regression. And I had the sense that I had always known how to run. And people watch me run, they go, "You're a natural runner. Where did you learn how to run?" So, in this right now, I want you to say, I'm going to give you so many good ideas. Shar, if someone comes in, I cannot see the chat room, put your hand up and I'll know exactly what that means.
Okay.
As you're sitting there, make a statement to yourself. And I say people in readings, who are you as a human being and person? Not as a man or woman, but who are you? What's your interest? Because if you get in dating, you want to know. If you in a relationship, you want to present yourself to a partner and say, "This is who I am." Oh, I see you with that hat. You're so cute.
I was just,
Guys,
I have to get the faces aren't
that's
laying right and it's driving me insane.
she's got a Christmas hat on. It's so cute. It's the skeleton couple. What is
Yeah, the
that, honey?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before
It's
Christmas.
Jack and
Anyway,
Sally. Yeah, Jack and
yeah,
Sally. It
I'm
says
watching her do
it
the
says
hat,
hey,
trying to
it
concentrate.
says it says it says seasons creepings.
Right? Okay, so as a human being, who are you? Why do you think you picked this life? Is it the adversity of a difficult childhood? Were your parents military? Did they bounce you all over the country? And what did you learn from that? And there's a lot of good stories, a lot of bad stories. I know a lot of military people. And then I would say to you, why did you have the children you have? Do they need you? I have children that don't need me, and I think it's because of the biological abilities. Um, they have. I didn't get permission to talk about them tonight. They have professional, so we're not stupid people. They were able to get into what high paying jobs. So then, is
Mhm.
that the reason you were here, or is it the reason that you have your destiny is to service others like me? So I did 24 years Pacific Bell. I was engineering and supervisor, and it wasn't enough. I didn't have a purpose or passion. So if I said to you, "What kind of work do you do?"
There we
And
go.
I'm not saying for you to stop your job because we have to pay our bills. I got
Right.
into this and I realized, hmm, wow, this really feels good to help people. And a friend of mine's, and I had to come to a fork in the road. And I said, I can stay at a telephone company as a manager. I can make as much money. I'd make as much money as a single woman ever need. I had my own house at that time. In 1989, I bought a house at interest rate at 13.75%. Everybody's complaining about 8%. Wait until it's
Mhm.
15, 13, 14%. Anyway, but this felt right. And so the purpose was presented to me. And then I went, I can't do both jobs. The other one was more secure because I had the health and everything. And I told my kids I was going to leave that job to do this. And oh my gosh, you'd think I'd set them on fire. Mom, you're divorced and you've had cancer and you had health service. And the only thing I could think of is I was going to live long enough to make it worry.
Mhm.
I just really thought I was going to die of cancer because in 87, when I was diagnosed, I was 39, people always died. And so in 90, when I got into this 2 years in, 92, I had to make a decision. And I have a best friend, known her since 1977. And she said to me, I was talking to her about just kind of, I'm working almost as many hours. I'd come home from work and work 3 or 4 hours and all day Saturday, Sunday. And the purpose of life is if it feeds your soul and you feel good about it, it doesn't matter how long you live or if you get 2 jobs to do it, pursue it if it makes your life worthwhile. And she said that to me. She says, don't look at it at what is taken away from you. Look at it as what you're giving back. So if you think you're only going to work 5 years, where would you rather work? Would you rather in service to help other people survive their life? Or would you work telephone company making manholes and conduit? I went, boing. Let me ponder that thought. Thank you, everybody. So I want you to think about those things and not use me as example, but I, you know, I gave up a lot just so I could survive to be the person I am today, and I don't regret it. So I have 4 pages that I want to talk about, and this is really at the beginning again. Some of this may be repeated, not from last time, but from what I talked about. If possible, if possible, take vacation. Now, I haven't had vacation for years, so if I get a day off, that's a vacation because my mind is somewhere else. So,
Mhm.
what I'm going to do, I have a van. I'm kind of fixing up a laptop. I want to go to the lake right at Folsom, Orville Lake. Is take a day and go sit at the shoreline and type, or do emails, watch YouTube. Just move your mind away from.
You know what helps? I'll tell you what helps. When we had our RV,
Yeah.
and because my dad was not mobile enough to really physically camp,
Uh
what we
huh.
would do is we would go out the afternoon. We go to McDonald's, get some burgers, right,
Yeah.
and then go over to Miller Park or go out to Rancho Seco Park or someplace and just hang out like we were camping.
Right. And then that's what I was absolutely. So I've never been a rich person, but I've tried to say, do these little things. They add
Hmm.
up. And then at that time when you can relax somewhere, and I'm not harping on this, but to give you a thought, ask yourself, why did I pick this life? And I say that with gentleness because I never believed in reincarnation survival because it wasn't part of vocabulary when I was growing up. I'll share with you, my father and his mother was spiritualist. The Fox Sisters, if people don't know what that is, National Spirits Association of America. Is that right? That's a lot of title. In 1990, I joined Universal Christ of the Master, and that was part of National Spirits Association America, and I got ordained the old-fashioned way, 2 years of hard work. Uh,
Wow.
Judy Fisher, Church of the Living God, Sedona, Arizona, February 1992. And I left telephone company in April, and this became my full-time job. So, I'm a spiritualist minister. So my father and his mother were Christian Scientists that did not believe in medicine, and so I was a sickly child. And anyway, so he brought me into the world, and then had to leave when I was 6. He got hit by a drunk driver and killed. So my mother moved to Northern California. Got off track with that. Why did you pick this life? You could look back at childhood and see the trials and tribulations, and what did you learn? Did you crumble under the pressure, or did it make you a stronger person? Find a part-time job and a favorite interest. How many people have hobbies? I know a lot of ladies who like Hobby Lobby. I'm a Home Depot person. I would like a hardware store. I better
I'm
find a
both.
part-time. I
I'm
like Hobby
both.
Lobby. I like hobbies and doing things, but I like tinkering and building stuff, and I would like to get back into it. Um, so, um, so I have 2 cats, and I want to build a shelf that goes around so they can jump on it and walk around the ceilings. Anyway, find a part-time job in your favorite interest. I'm just giving you guys ideas. Somebody said a library, a lot of parents and children, I feel that compassion for animals, give them a part-time job in a veterinary clinic, a foundation of some sort. Um, I also address people who are depressed in dating relationships. Yes, it's very difficult. You're stuck, stuck, stuck. Oh, how am I going to do this? You want, because you're angry, you want to blame the other person, but always own it. In a relationship, always remember, and with friendships, business, never wound another soul. That should have been one of the 10 Commandments. It is, and it's worded different, but the privilege of being able to talk to somebody and blend with them and talk to their spirit. You do not want to wound them because the domino effect will build over time. And then 5, 6, 7, 8 years down the road, you're going to be thinking about them every night. How did I do that? Because they'll be thinking of you. If you do not want be in this relationship or situation, it could be best friends breaking up. It's that you have to own and say, the tolerance of my life right now is low. I have too many things going on. It's my fault, but we have to end this relationship. Own it. Do not wound another soul. Even if it's not true, don't wound them because they're on their own path. You're brave
Mhm.
enough to break it up. Say so. Uh, as I said, the universe will make you accountable in the future if you do it on purpose. Someone has retired and has taken over family and friends' lives. How many people have we known retired? And the wife calls me up and says, I want to throw him in the street. He's watching me cook. He's watching me clean. He wants to follow me around and tell me what to do. And I've been married 35, 40, 50 years.
I've heard that.
That person, I have heard it too many times. It's almost unbelievable. Be patient. They are lost. And be patient. They are more lost than it looks like.
It's
They're
kind of
treating
like
a retirement job.
it's kind of like the empty nest syndrome.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I remember,
Filler.
well, I didn't retire, but I remember when I stepped away from my editing job out in Woodland, and I was always on that night shift, getting off at like 8, 9, 10 o'clock. And I remember the day that I got off, and well, I guess Marisa and I went to dinner, I think. And I'm sitting at this restaurant at 5 o'clock, and I'm thinking, wow, there's people out here doing stuff. Because I wasn't used to being out there.
That's how I felt with the Tubman Cub, because I was commuting an hour back and forth in the morning and at night. And then you'd take a day off and you go, Saturday and Sunday doesn't matter. During the week, I would take off for some. I remember, God, there was life out there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I feel a little like that now because people that do this kind of work, as well as writers and artists and people have migrated from COVID into their homes. You can have a problem with not getting out enough. And sometimes I just want to get out in the car and drive.
That too. Just to deviate, just a tad. The other thing, have you seen the movie Brigadoon?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Remember when he came back to New York? And how chaotic it was compared to where he'd been?
Right. That's right. He did.
And every time I would come back,
yeah.
Nancy and I had houses up the mountain, literally up the mountain near Mount Shasta in the middle of nowhere. And the thing was, when you would come back to Sacramento, or I would have to come, we had to come back because my parents had medical appointments. It was chaotic as hell. It reminded me of Brigadoon because, I mean, the biggest traffic jam up in Montague was maybe 6 cars. People coming home from work, that was it.
So Shar and I lived in the same neighborhood, more or less.
Yeah.
My mailing address was Hornbrook. My actual address, street address, and then you wrote on there Black Mountain, Hornbrook, California. And she was down the hill near Wairika. And yes, we were really kind of isolated. That was the issue with some health issues that my husband had when we moved to Oroville to get better treatment because they didn't have doctors. His medical treatment was in Medford. And I would have to drive over the Siskiyou mountain range in the winter with snow if he had a heart attack or something. Oh, no. The heart problem moved. I did notice that Karen, I have a question, Nancy. What civilization did I belong to in a past life?
Sorry, Karen.
There are so many civilizations. Someone asked me once, well, how many lifetimes have I had? And I go, well, Shar has had a lot because she didn't go to the most recent life. She went to the life that has most impact to this one. So the only thing so it's not, I've had a lot of past, I've had a couple official past life regressions. I spontaneously get past life memories off and on. And I was just doing something and I saw myself as a young man riding a horse. Either that or was a very thin woman. And I had a plaid shirt on with jeans and they were loose. And I was on a horse. Well, I did horses this lifetime and I was good at it, and better runner. And it's kind of interesting that those lives played into who I am today. So Karen, when I went to you, I saw a lifetime where people lived in brick homes, the bricks that they made. And so the first vision I got was an older primitive society or one, I don't feel it was recent. I'm pulling back in the desert of some country, desert Could be Australia, I doubt it. Could be Middle East, could have been Egypt. But people would build homes with a frame, a square frame, and they would make bricks, and then that would be the house. Why I got that, other than is it artistic ability? Is it a simpler way of life that the first thing I get was that? Well, why didn't they give me more? I don't know what that means, honey. So
I
go
I have a
ahead, Char.
question. Maybe it's a good topic. Maybe it's a topic for another show.
What's
Can
that?
we, in dreams? I know I had this experience in a dream where I was able to get a snapshot of my past life. It only happened once. But when we go to dream at night, could those visions we see in dreams
Oh, sure.
be
I think that
snapshots
happens.
in the past life?
Absolutely. I think our memory, pardon me, activities of our life currently, we could dream of a past life in which that life now is coming in. I don't think that a lifetime, Char's lifetime was in a ranching Montana look
Yeehaw!
years ago. Hee haw. And you were the rancher. And I think that it plays with who you are today. Clearly, people who know me say, Nancy, you're really a different person than when you were a telephone company versus where you are today.
Except when I'm around chickens. I don't do chickens, live chickens.
I don't think they had chickens. You had cattle.
I'm just saying, any other animals I'm around, I'm good. Live chickens, it ain't going to happen.
Okay, so I wondered, we talked about this at one show.
Right,
was I a walk-in when I had the cancer that Nancy leave and another one came in? Because once I got into this, I became a new personality. I think I hit my passion. That's why. Telephone company people don't talk, especially engineering. We're quiet. We're quiet people, and I am particularly a quieter person.
That's because they're all geeky nerds. That's why, because they're smart. And they're all geeky nerds.
I'm a geeky, artistic, geeky nerd.
Geeky nerd.
So that was one life, and this is a totally different part of my consciousness. And maybe I had a past life, and then we thought about it. I don't know if it's on a show. I saw myself as an initiate, a young woman to be a nun. And the vision I got was I was on my knees with a scrub brush cleaning the floor. And there were hard, I don't know, it was rocks or whatever it was I was, paving. I was inside and my mind was full of remorse how I wasn't helping the villagers. And it was one of those places where you become a nun, you can't talk. And I couldn't talk to anybody. I became a nun to help the villages around. And I think that played into my desire. Directly played into my desire to do this for a career. And I'm helping. And because I didn't get to in that life.
Karen says that, sorry for interrupting. Karen says that she thinks it was Egypt. She has cousins who are Egyptian.
Oh, so maybe I was looking at an Egyptian and the desert would have been northern Africa and versus the Middle East, because it was so clear to me. Well, as long as you can figure out what it was I was seeing and why, I mean, it throws me off. I sit here receiving. I'm the greatest sponge in the world.
Yeah, guys, you see how I interrupt Nancy? Okay.
What's that?
And today we're doing, Nancy's doing readings today. Don't feel bad about interrupting Nancy. See how I interrupt Nancy? Do I feel bad? No. So go ahead and go for it.
Jesus. I also wonder if I had a past life in the Mayan culture. I don't think so because. Yeah, but it's the wrong climate. This was what
Nancy didn't see human sacrifices. It's all cool. You're Egyptian.
My feeling is they were bare fleshed people. They were not in a climate. Well, let's see. Peru is bigger. No,
I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to insult the Mayans because it is what it is. But.
No, it's just a different climate. The climate I saw felt like the desert of Egypt, because I did mention Middle East or the cats.
How do you feel about snakes, Karen? Afts. How do you feel about afts?
Well, let's keep going here.
Cleopatra. Okay, I'm here. I'm fine.
I'm trying not to. I get talking and I bring myself in conversation. I'm losing.
Okay, guys. So if you have a question, go ahead and fire them off because I'm going to be interrupting Nancy for your question. So here we go.
Okay, so I want. Sometimes we try too hard to find something that will spark us out of depression. I got a lot of points here I've got to go to.
Go for it.
We were talking about career path, passion, get a foundation, get into the vet research or not research, rescue. You could do hobby lobby, get a different job that feeds you, makes you feel like you're on purpose. And I'm not going to tell someone to quit a high paying job and go work at Hobby Lobby, though I would love it.
Walmart
Or hardware
greeter.
store. But the thing is that you got to pay your bills, and nowadays it's really hard. Need to recharge your interest for a hobby. Look at the yellow pages of Telephone Book for a job or hobby, because all the lot of them are listed there. I know someone who retired and started cooking again. She was teaching cooking on a YouTube channel, and I'm speaking of Bridget, and I'd like her to get back into it. She just absolutely loved it. So if you watch this, honey, I'm giving you a plug. um, Find something to teach others. A lot of people get into something where they know something very well, and so they get back into it. If you're an artist, teach your neighborhood kids how to, or start a group. It's very popular now to do Zoom. You could teach a class how to even paint on Zoom, or have something in your backyard when the weather's better. Go to a gym. Look at this as a second job. I have gym equipment in the garage because I don't want to travel anywhere to work out. But I know that there are people who retired and look at it in better health by going to gym, and that is a job. There is something to be said about activity and lessening depression, and it's something to do with about helping yourself be better. The endorphins work amazingly. I also like, and I've got this mentioned lower, anytime when you change your energy from dark and moody to lighter, it stays lighter longer for you, higher vibration. So even as I would say, Laurel and Hardy movies, I went through a difficult time dating, and Laurel and Hardy were my savior, because at that time we didn't have YouTube and all the fun things you can watch. Remember, Laurel and Hardy was there before everybody alive watching this. It was like, but they were very funny, and I really did enjoy Jerry Lewis and Bob Hope particularly, only because that's what I had access to at the time. So don't minimize how important it is to watch things. Even one of the first, I forgot the guys. Some of the best movies out are very entertaining, and they take you away from depression. You see, I skirted around dating. Dating and looking for that perfect someone is not always easy if you don't know yourself, and if you're dealing with depression because you're alone. So you need to start working on the idea that before you bring someone in your life, you want to get out of your depression of being alone, and that is to make yourself interesting. So find that hobby, find groups to belong to. I'm getting back into writing. I have a couple of writing friends, and so I touch base with them, and it charges you. It charges you because you want to do what your passion is. Besides just what I do for a living, I want to finish all my writing. Whether you're working full time or retired or single most of your life, find a partner that will not help fix you, but help. Finding a partner will not help you fix your issues or giving you purpose in life. They are brought into your life for you to share the bounty of what you've learned. Love yourself, know who you are, and you'll accept someone else for who they are. Very important statement. Women and men both have a tendency to get a partner and say, I'll mold them into whom I want them to be, creating that partner to not to have a wounded soul. Remember, I said, anytime you wound someone else's soul, that will come back at you. Expecting finding a partner who will help you to have a project. Fill a void? No, I don't think so. I know a lot of people get married and they buy a house and they have a garden, they work on it. If that's an interest, then absolutely that's for the best. Because they say a good partnership in dating is when one will help you become a better person. So the years I was married, my first husband, we had horses, we had the big gardens, and we were raising kids. We were so busy that we lost each other. Don't do that to yourself. Okay, please find yourself, and then you'll find the person for you. Be happy, love yourself, and the other person will notice that and say, I want a piece of that. But then be brave enough to say, I want to do all this work for me so that I love myself, find the perfect partner, or you good enough for me now. And you'd be surprised that people have talked to me and said, I've created my new self, and I love myself so much. Now I don't know if I want a partner to mess it up. I go, well, you won the lotto. Maybe you don't need anybody permanent. How to help with depression. When yeah, I already mentioned a couple of these things. When I had an office at, let's see, Sunrise Boulevard and I think it was Fair Oaks. I had a corner there, and I shared it with a few other ladies. We all had little offsets, little 10 by 10 little spaces. And I'd be working with talking to a client, and on the other side of the wall, I heard the and sometimes it got really loud. I went, "What is that?" And so one day I was talking to the lady who owned the building, and she says, "Oh, that's so and so over there." And I walked around, and this lady had punching bags and mats on the floor, and she had Nerf baseball bats, and they were all banging each other and banging the floor and banging the punching bags, and she was dealing with depression. And I thought it was amazing. And what I discovered, and I told you before, my husband was a police person, and he would come home and he would have spots on him. And at the time, I just saw bellows everywhere. I didn't know what I was looking at. And later on, I realized he was dealing with so many negative people that he was catching their negative. And so if you have a terrible life or you feel like you do, you probably have like a deck of cards, boom, 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 packed on you. Physical activity, get a Nerf baseball bat, go to the forest or somewhere quiet, hug a wall or hug a punching bag. Forgive me, tree, can I pound on this? Get a rock, put a note on there and say, this is who I'm mad at, this is the situation, and pound it to death. Don't kill yourself with a heart attack. I don't want you to come back and haunt me, okay? But I want you to beat that off of you and take it out and say, I'm done with that. I've had people say they bought a Nerf baseball bat. Toys R Us used to sell them. I don't know how to get a hold of them now. So they're just foam type of thing. I think the dollar store sells those noodle looking things. I think one of you put a little stick in one. I don't know how to do it now. Nerf baseball bat, look it up, NERF. And you need to get that anger out of you, work it out. Take up, the other day I was talking to somebody, I says, oh, he was so angry. And I know he's listening. I said, you need a punching bag. You need, as a man would say, I need to go in the garage and just work it out. And a lot of people
There are
do
places, I don't know if they have them here in Sacramento, this area.
that.
In Southern California, there are places that they own like small hotels, these people, and they put breakable objects in these hotels. Yeah, and you pay for an hour or 2 hours, and they give you a baseball bat, they'll give you rocks, they'll give you stuff, and all you get to do is go in there and break things.
Well, I saw that. I think you and I've talked about this before, where they have a junkyard, and all the cars have been accidents and towed out people's places, and junk.
Yeah.
And you can go out there with a sledgehammer. And I was watching a show where they had these men go out and just work it out. And some of them, it's very it's exciting to watch because you know they're working it out, but they get so involved with it. It's really amazing. I really like that idea. So take that in consideration to work things out. One day, my husband, he watches different shows than I do. I do like Facebook once in a while. I don't spend a lot of time. YouTube has some of the silly things that people do, or the shorts do. Anyway, he had YouTube on the TV, and he said, come here. And I haven't laughed so. I'm sorry. I get so embarrassed when I watch people making fool themselves. But this one time he had me watch it, I found myself laughing out loud. People need to learn to laugh again, and I really believe that. So YouTube, Facebook clips, however you can watch people attempting things they should never do. Some of them are. I don't like to see people get hurt, and of course that mother instinct was like, oh, didn't they know different? Look at that kid, he fell on his head. Oh my gosh, and people need to laugh more. I think it's been taken out of us. Even when we were home with COVID, we didn't try to laugh. It was so, millions of people died. Almost every family in America was affected. In my family, we had someone really sick, and it scared me. and should never happen to a young person.
Well, it's like I tell you, and I tell my friends, if I'm going through a depression, which you're home alone and you think those thoughts over and
Mhm.
over and over, and it's not like you get depressed, you just get feeling down. And TikTok has been huge for me, to go through those shorts
Yeah,
and
yeah.
see those crazy people. And if you notice me doing like, the crazy crap with the skull face and all this stuff, that's because I've had a bad week and it brings me
Hmm.
out of it. It's fun to do. So
Yep,
I
yep.
mean, I have no problem with that. If that's what they're used for, great. When they're used for bad things, not so great. But when they're used for things like that, that's wonderful for people.
Right. So the punching bag Nerf baseball bat,
Yep.
sports, participate, join a group. Meetup.com is a great place to find a walking group in your community or something that you like to do. In Chico, there's a writers group, and I'm going to try find it because
Hmm.
it's always good to have a group, even if it's only on Zoom. I'm part of a lot of camping groups because I want to start camping again, and they
Hmm.
have groups on you can meet up. You can go. It's wonderful. UFO groups. I'm part of a couple. They seem to be on the. I had the meetings on the nights that I'm on here, but I still am reading up. I
Right.
enjoy it. Individual couples counseling. I normally don't like doing that. I like to. I know. You're gonna hear a cat now. Um, I think it's really important. I think that really does help if you have a couple issues. Bring yourself back. Um, I just not as qualified to do couples because it's hard to keep them roll them into a conversation versus the battleground. It's really hard. Like-minded at a church or a recommendation from a counseling service, I'm all for that. Absolutely. Group counseling is amazing. I do bring it up a little further down. Whenever I recommend a family to get their child in group therapy, it seems to really help. And that would be any kind of counseling group, a church group, a school group. Um, we went through tough love, and the
Hmm.
groups were wonderful for the young people to express express how angry they are at their parents, and they could hear other kids talk about it. Remember, it's all self-created. A lot of it is their interpretation of the rules and regulations of life, and so they'll hear other people talk about it, and so that's really good. Kind of realigns their thinking process. 1980s tough love and the children were groups. I've just mentioned that. Are you eating, drinking that is adding to your depression? I didn't know this. I did some reading, um, a lot of articles on treating depression through diet. I had no
Hmm.
idea there's. I'm sensitive to a lot of foods as I got older. Well, that sensitivity doesn't make you feel good, and it causes depression also. And there's cleansing food. I just cannot recommend that, but I've reading articles lately, and there are diets to help you improve your mood. Um, and in the mornings, I'm also one that says, uh, go to the beach, go to the mountain, go to a quiet place, and just relax and meditate. I'm not one to sit on my hiney and sit and meditate and walk back and forth for hours. My mind is not type A personality. I can quiet. The way I recover is doing a session because I step out of Nancy's stuff and I can move over, and that does it is a form of meditation. Whether you listen to beautiful music and you just zone out, you're in a beautiful environment and there's crickets, birds, or whatever around you, the ocean around you, find that place that you can relax and call it meditation. Take yourself out of your trouble, put your mind somewhere else. Um, Getting up in the morning and saying, I told you this last time, I'll say it again. My mother used to call me, talk, and she'd say, "Oh, it's going to be a good day." She did it a little too often, but I got the idea. She'd say, "It's going to be a good day." Mom, really? How come? She would say, "I woke up." That gratitude statement, she would wake up and go, "Oh, I'm alive. I woke up." Gratitude, whatever it takes for you to say that. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and go, geez, I didn't get up. I didn't wake up. The cat didn't wake me up. I got 6, 7, 8 hours sleep. That's a good statement right there. So if you are having trouble with sleeping as people get older, there is an issue. I don't know anything about melatonin. I don't
Hmm.
know anything about those medicines. Um, I prefer not to take stuff because I don't. So there are people who have good recommendations. You need to talk to your doctor and see why you're waking up all night long. The other night we forgot to turn the heater off because we had some pretty cool weather. Middle of the night, about 2:30, about 2 or 3 days back. woke up too hot. People sleep better, cooler. So look at that even. Um, Client, I have thoughts for how to answer you. Oh, okay. So those are some of the suggestions, but I wanted to read a short email. I had another client. Now he's dragging a toy to me and dropping on the floor. So, and someone said, why the cats bother you? Well, this is where they sleep on top of my cabinets over here. This client wrote me and he was in a unfortunate, no, honey, go. So I wrote back and I said, client, I have thought for days how to answer you. Yeah, like 3-4 days. I had to really think about this. So I typed this up. I have thought of you for days how to answer you. Please take the below with the love I have for you. I've known this individual since 1991. And I've always known you. He was talking something. This is reply to him. So I've always known you to speak from the heart. And because you've lost your child, your world has become very dark. I've had some difficult times, looked in the possibility of death too many times, and I mentioned that earlier. I do get stirred up with news on the world stage, but with that, I still want to see how my movie ends. Though we have world conflicts, I have not received a vision of the world ending. And that's true. I've never have. Many years back, I came up with a thought and shared it for a while and then distracted, stopped giving it to others. I'll share with you my understanding of our power, other than that, with our election vote. Take a walk to the beach and take an umbrella. Bury your feet in the sand. Now open up that umbrella unless you can figure out how. This is the only space you can take care of yourself. Forgive your daughter and allow her to seek answers and peace as a spirit person, and you will be together again. How you live is up to you. Be selfish. You deserve to be happy. And that's it. His daughter ended her life. And though he has a good life, that has taken away his yearning to live. And so I was trying to go to a place of making him realize how important each life is. Why did he pick this life? Was it the turmoil of the daughter? Was it his career path? Was it this marriage he's in? We won't know all those answers. He's been in a long-term marriage with 25, 20, 30 years. And he lives at the shoreline of California. And people would say, I would love to have that kind of life, yet his life is very dark. And doesn't matter that he's been in business like I have for, I've known him since 91. We get caught up in our own stuff. And well, I hope you learned something from me tonight, everybody. And do we have any other questions in there?
We have 8 minutes, guys. Here's your chance. Pepper us with questions.
He was reminding me of someone said to me he knows where I worked before. It was in Fair Oaks, off of Sunrise and Fair Oaks Boulevard. Yeah, Fair Oaks, California. Thank you for that. The great Elizabeth Taylor played a wonderful Cleopatra. Yes, she did. Yeah. I wonder what culture she was from, right? Before.
Right.
And I did not believe in the punishment before.
Right.
Huh?
Guys, and also, there's something to be said, and I use them all the time, is those relax CDs, DVDs, or on the phone to get those relaxed things to put yourself in that mood. Another thing I use, and I used it with my mother, was a VR headset.
Oh.
And the cheaper ones, because I know they're expensive, well, you can get these things at cheaper. And a lot of them, what you do is you simply just, because not TikTok, but YouTube has all kinds of VR stuff on it. All kinds. So you use your cell phone. And you can use your cell phone to download these VR videos and put the phone in your VR headset. Ooh. And you can sit there and do VR really cheap. I think the VR headset I have was like $15. But I'm able to do all this stuff. There's nights I can sit at the beach and the waves are washing up to my toes, and there's a sunset going on, and you can pick anything you want. I went diving with sharks, with hammerheads. That was spooky. Because with the VR, they're all around you. They're behind you and everything. It's really creepy.
Come on.
But I mean, it's a cheap way to do it because, like I said, YouTube, all those videos are free. You want to go to the Grand Canyon? Go VR to the Grand Canyon. Hot air balloon? VR to the hot air balloon. How about sledding with the Olympic team? You can even do that. So I mean, that's an inexpensive way to escape for a while. It's through VR. Just make sure there's no breakables by you when you start swinging your arms. But it's all good. But you can do it cheaply. You don't have to buy those $300-400 VR headsets. In fact, I think mine was a sharper image. And all you have to do is just drop your cell phone in there.
We're talking tomorrow, Shar. You're going to teach me about this.
Yes,
I want to know. Yeah. I think that would be wonderful.
That is some awesome stuff.
I have in one of my rooms here, the Wii, W-I-I set.
Oh, I love the Wii.
Yeah, it needs to be set up because we just moved 4 months ago. But some of the things, tennis and driving cars and bowling, some of those just bring me out of an uncomfortable space real easily. What are you looking at?
Marisa wants to know if she had a life during Victorian times.
I actually picking that up. It was later Victorian because at the time she wants me to see, she has either a deep purple or deep blue dress on with a lot of frilly on the front. It's almost like I'm seeing not black like in mourning, but a very dark color. And I seem to be seeing what she wants me to see is that clinched waist with a lot of layers and then fabrics on the front. It makes it look like lace. Very busy. And I'm looking at white gloves and an umbrella. I'm not positive you're in America. I want to say in Europe or England. I don't have a sense of here. Somewhere else where it was very common.
Kelsey Jade Deckening says she would like a reading. Do you have a question for Nancy today? And then we could work on an extended reading over at our Patreon site. So if you have a question, if you have a question, go ahead and ask, Kelsey.
And have we talked before? I haven't.
No,
Kelsey.
No, not here. We haven't.
Anything
you'd like to ask one question? Yeah, anything like that. And again, Nancy and I are going to be finalizing all that stuff for the Patreon next week. So we'll have it fresh and new after Thanksgiving week. But if you have a question,
you can start out by Patreon. Of course, everybody knows I have a website. It's my name, nancymatzpsychic.com also.
There's two ways to do this because we're doing free readings today. One question. Or the way we're setting it up on the Patreon site, and it's a pretty good introductory deal. Right, it's a lot cheaper. Where if you become a $5 a month owner over a Patreon, you are guaranteed a 5-minute reading every month. That goes for the $10 donor. You get 10-minute reading every month, a 10-minute reading every month. And that way you can question Nancy even more. And then there's a $15 level.
I want to answer a question really quick. Hold on.
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Kelsey is showing me something I don't get very often. She is an old soul, and I don't say that too often because it sometimes means suffering. And what they're showing me, Kelsey, is just bear with me. You had a really hard life, and I go way back prehistory, like earliest civilizations, and you were a man and you worked hard. And I don't know, all around the world, they're discovering all these very ancient civilizations, and you come into this life not broken, your body broken, but something to do with how you work or wanting to work or lack of work. You come in having been broken in a past life. So the rewards of this time may be all intellect, or if you have a physical life, be careful. I don't know why I'm mentioning that, but it was a really hard life. And I think you dip in and out of lifetimes, and at times you feel too old for present day, as though you're weary of life. And you have a really young picture, but that could be 20 years ago. I'd be really curious why I'm picking that up.
Cool.
The glasses look good on me. Well,
I just saw that,
Karen, thank you. You know I love you. The thing is that when you get your eyes fixed, I had so many things wrong with them. Now, when they fix them, they say, well, you may have to wear glasses, but I've never had to fuss with the lenses like this. And I did try to move the lights around. It's the screen itself reflecting back.
Kelsey says, yes, she's 33. Yeah, God, she's a baby. She'll probably hate me for saying that.
Well,
I used to hate when people said
it's all relative, you know. As the older you get, your age looks young. My daughter's, you know,
that.
she's young to me.
Karen says, I
So,
love you too. All right.
oh,
It's 7:30, you guys.
I did good. I got it done.
You did really good.
Okay.
So I do want to announce, I tried to do a few minutes ago. Yeah, she's doing these free readings over here. We're going to try and do more of them. You know, so it's not a big deal for us. It's just fun for us to do them. But if you guys want a longer, more detailed reading, the cheap way to do it, again, is to head on over to our Patreon site. It's California Haunts Radio Patreon. And it's a monthly subscription. And what happens is for $5 a month, if you go at the $5 level, like I was saying, you get a 5-minute reading every month with Nancy or Karen Clark, who happens to be in our chat room.
But
Both
wait a minute,
excellent.
wait. The Patreon, this is an introduction. The price is going
Yeah,
to
it's an
go
introduction
up.
price, yeah.
She said
Yeah.
every month. No, I will not do that
It
every
will go
month.
Yeah, it will go up. It will go up. But then there's a $5 level, there's a $10 level, and there's a $15 level. So if you sign up for the $10 level, you get a 10-minute reading. Or a $15 level, you get a 15-minute reading. And more one-on-one time. So we're doing it as an introductory thing because we're just trying, again, it's a way for the team to raise funds and things like that. But also, in addition to that, and not only do you get the reading, you also get first look at, like, because I do a lot of videos off screen here to pre-record with guests. I mean, they might be over in England or someplace. And so you get the chance to see these videos 10, 15 days before anybody else does. So you get first crack at that. I have a Discord where we can have all these big discussions. Anything you want to talk about, you guys become members of that. I've also started the California Haunts blog again. I have a really good blog where I talk about ghost hunting and how to do stuff. And sometimes if I get disgusted with other teams, I do that too. I kind of unload over there. So, yeah, you'll have access to the blog as well. So it's a really good deal, because I'm trying to get people signed up for all that. And we're also going to be doing private interviews over there. And sometimes, for instance, I'm thinking the woman that was on last night, Karen Wilkinson, I'm thinking maybe I'll take her over to the Patreon. And you guys that are signed up for Patreon, we can do a private interview with her, which means I don't ask the questions, but you do. You get to ask her questions. So that's kind of a cool benefit too. Anyhow, I'm done with that. Go ahead.
Wait, before we leave, I'm gearing up to start my channel, Nancy Matt's Psychic. If you go over there, most of the years, every Friday night, I think I've done 55 videos with Shar. If you want to watch them, she gets a credit. They're at my site. But also some of the things I've done in the past. But I'm gearing up. Shar, there's no competition with Shar. This is separate. I'm going to be doing 15-minute videos of all the client stories. And so I would love a title. I need some help deciding what I want to call my show. And so I'm open to suggestions. If you email her or me, something to do like, is this your story? Or can we all input? I mean, 30-some years of stories. And so I'll do Audacity, cut them out, paste them together. And so I'd like a help on what to call them, the shows. I'll be doing lectures and talks and classes, everything. So I'll have 2 or 3 different directions. So everybody give me an idea, something catchy. Okay. All right, Shar.
Also, if you guys have any guests, maybe you've been watching the TV shows, because I know a lot of you watch everything, on Nat Geo and all those places. If there's guests that you would like me to have on this show, let me know. I tend to have real good luck getting guests on here. So let me know. Let me know who you'd like to see on the show. And if I get them on, it's terrible. If the guests appear, we've got California Haunts Radio t-shirts sitting here with no place to go. Okay, so I will get you a California Haunts Radio t-shirt. Well, that's the other thing to Patreon too. I'm going to be doing monthly giveaways. So it might be t-shirts, it could be CDs, because we have done investigations, and we used to film for public access TV. So we got some investigations sitting over there on public access TV, and we like to film a lot on our investigations. So that's another plus. Okay, I'm trying to sell this to you guys because you'll like it. Anyway, I'm trying. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to teach a class in about 10 minutes. I'm going to go teach a meditation class. So I'm off and running. But I want to thank everybody that came in today, and Kelsey, I want to thank you for joining us. We're a big happy family
Kelsey,
over here.
make sure you get a note to us or next week. I'd like to know why I picked up what I did. It was kind of odd. You don't usually get distressing like that.
Now, like Nancy said in the beginning, the schedule's kind of messed up next week. I forgot Thursday was Thanksgiving. I was booking away. So Nancy got pushed back to Monday. So what we're going to be talking about on Monday, I have to move this thing now so I can actually read it off the side because it's covered now. How people change. We're going to talk about how people change following death of a family member or somebody close to you, or a deep sickness. How does that change people?
We addressed some of that tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yes, that's why I will segue into it. So we're gonna be talking about that Monday. I will be reading the Lizzie Borden book on Sunday. That will be the last day to read it through the holidays, and then we're going to go into spooky Christmas, spooky Christmas and holiday tales for the holiday. So we're starting to shift into holiday mode. But that's the schedule for now, and then Nancy's taking the reins on Monday to be here, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, as we go. And the Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving will be a show. It will not be a live show. It will be a best of show. So that way I can have time to enjoy my time with my family and stuff my face like everybody else. And then I will be back on it Friday live. So everything's live except for Thursday this week.
Does everybody hear my cat? I'm trying to keep him quiet. Is he coming in?
No.
Are you hearing him show? Oh, good.
No.
I'm trying so hard, and he's mad at me that I'm not playing with.
I'm so glad I'm back here where I am because my cat, you know how he vocalizes. That would suck. Yeah. Now my male dog is vocalizing right now because he's just old, so he gets in his mood. He's vocalizing. he won't shut up. You can walk out there and tell him to shut up multiple times, and he just looks at you and goes, whatever, and keeps going.
Well,
I want to thank George.
They sleep in here, huh?
Before I forget, I want to thank George for the donation. That was cool. I was very surprised. George is from France. He's my buddy from France. So I want to thank him.
Thank you, George.
And this week, if there's anybody else that's put in a donation this past week and I didn't say your name or something, I apologize, but I appreciate it. I truly do. I truly do. Okay, if you like the show, share it with 5 people. If you hated the show, share it with 5 of your enemies. We just want to get the numbers out on the show and get some people involved with the show. You know, maybe there's somebody in your house you can go, hey, you know what? There's this little show on. Come on over and watch. They're kind of crazy over there. Lots of bloopers. I'm like the queen of bloopers. I admit it. I'm the queen of bloopers. Like banning Nancy last week.
She said, "Oh, reboot Nancy," and she cut me off and took me off the show and then blocked me.
I banned her by accident.
I went, "Oh no!" And I didn't know how to.
And then after all that work, I'm trying to. In the meantime, I'm trying to read instructions like on my cell phone. After all that work, I had to start a whole new show up last time, or whatever day it was. So I had to reboot a whole new show, get it advertised out on Facebook and all that other stuff. I get back in and I find different instructions, and I could have left the original show open after finding out after going through all this. But yeah, if you like bloopers, this is the show for you. I'll tell you. But anyway, it happens. So anyway, share us. Share us. That sounds terrible too. Share us around, right? Share us around. But anyway, I will see you guys on Sunday, and I will be, like I said, Sunday reading day, so I will be reading Sunday, and then Monday we get back into it. So I hope you guys have a great couple days off. It's supposed to rain, and we're getting our first big storm in this weekend.
For California.
Yeah, for California. And so it should be an interesting weekend. And then Sunday I'll be out doing my yard decorations, out there pounding the pavement, and crawling over bushes, under bushes, trying to get this stuff rigged up and rolling. So I want to have everything up by Thanksgiving if I can. Good luck with that. But
all right, everybody.
Have a great one, everybody. Let me get you Nancy's contact information, and away we go. And again, as far as the Patreon goes, I'll have more details for you. That's more coherent than what I've been spewing. Everything will be laid out for you guys so you guys can understand it. Because if I spew it out, forget it. It's just one of those things. Okay, here we go. Let me get Nancy going, and maybe I'll push the wrong button. You never know. Lots of bloopers here. Here we go. Okay. Websites, nancymatz.com, or everything is lowercase. nancymatzauthor.com, the N, the M, and the A is lowercase. Uppercase. My bad. See what I mean? More bloopers than I need. Okay, YouTube.com. Check her out at YouTube. Help, get me out of this funk. That's where I'm at today. By Nancy Matz. Two Worlds, Developing Your Psychic Skills. And The Unwilling Sacrifice. And of course, you can get those at Amazon. Excuse me.
Karen
Alrighty,
put on there,
guys.
33 is an angel number. You're going to have to figure out why she put that on there.
Yeah, but you know why that's an angel number.
Did I say 33 or something? I don't know. All right, everybody.
Okay,
Go ahead,
guys,
Char.
have a great one. I was going to say, I will be reading Oracle cards, not this week, but probably the beginning of January here on this show. So I'll be reading some Oracle cards. So we can do a show with that. We'll be just reading random Oracle cards with, and it's not going to be anything where, I'm going to be doing predictions, looking at the death card or anything like that. Just answers to questions. Okay? That's all I'm going to be doing with them. Don't want to get into any of the other stuff. It's spooky. It's spooky for me. But anyway, I will see you again. I will see you guys on Sunday. Have a great couple days.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, no. I almost hit the wrong button. Look at that. I almost ended the show without the end.